Travis, today we're going to dive into a shakeup in retirement plans. 401ks may soon be able to hold crypto, real estate, and private equity.
Be quite the change.
That would be a real change.
Yeah.
August 7th, President Trump signed an executive order expanding the 401k investment options to include alternative assets like crypto, like real estate, and private equity, and even tokenized assets.
That's a rabbit hole.
That's a whole other video we'll have to do.
Yeah.
This opens the door to trillions in retirement savings being reallocated just beyond stocks and bonds, where we've been forever since.
Yeah,
it started.
it's a whole new world opening up for people that they may not be aware of. But federal agencies, according to the new rule, federal agencies, including the Department of Labor, the SEC, and the Treasury, now have a mandate to re-examine ERISA guidance. You know, they have to clarify fiduciary duties. They have to lay out a framework for these new investments because they're not just going to start throwing them in there, haphazardly. Yeah. So the DOL now, Department of Labor, has 180 days to propose new rules and safe harbors here. So there's obviously two sides to everything. So supporters say, hey, it's about access to investment tools previously reserved are only available for wealthy, private equity, real estate, and digital assets can potentially offer higher returns and diversification, and they can in certain situations.
Like you said, possibly.
And that's right. That's the administration's rationale here. Hey, we want to give the people access to these tools that they haven't had access to before.
Yeah.
On the flip side, you're going to have critics, and they're going to point to volatility, illiquidity, and higher fees, and possible legal exposure for plan sponsors. All reasons, that traditional retirement managers should tread lightly here. They're valid points.
Right.
So it good or bad, it's just understanding those points and how they apply, right?
As they say, sometimes you be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
You likely won't be investing, though, Travis, directly in the crypto or the rental property inside the 401k. Instead, it's going to be an alternative asset, which would appear in a managed solution, such as a specialized fund or like a target date fund as well.
Sure. That's kind of where they probably slide them in first.
That you'd almost have to. This executive order is just the starting point. It doesn't change anything immediately. Regulators are now going to rewrite the rules. As you mentioned, the plan providers must retool the products. That could take months or even years, really, to get this done.
Well, yeah, the retooling, and then the offerings, like what are they going to be, and then picking the right ones for all these different plans. It's going to be a process.
It will, and here's the complexity part of this here. With a traditional 401k, you're usually picking from a short list of some mutual funds or some target date funds.
Not always great.
Not good, typically. You roughly how they're going to behave, and the costs are very transparent. With alternatives like private equity, tokenized real estate, and crypto, you're dealing with some different valuations. Your account balance may not fluctuate on a daily basis like it did with the stocks and bonds.
Well, see, if you own this office building we're in, what was it worth yesterday compared to today?
Yeah, there's no sign on the side of
Right.
the building telling you how much this thing's worth
Right.
every minute or every second. There's illiquidity issues as well with this. Some assets are locked up for years. And you can't just sell something on a whim, potentially, like you can a stock or a bond.
That's probably why they'll slide into those target date funds first.
Yep, absolutely. And then there's tax complexity to this and some rules that people have to follow, even inside 401ks. Certain assets come with special reporting requirements as well. And then you have the whole market cycle issue where crypto is traded 24/7.
Yeah.
It's going to be different volatility. It's a different animal than the S&P 500.
Yeah, and you probably won't even be able to trade the crypto in your 401k overnight. You wake up and see the valuation switch, and that's going to create a whole nother level of confusion for people. So not initially, at least, right?
No question.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So a lot of complexity here, Steve. A lot of things people probably aren't used to, but our job here is to help you, right? Help you understand the actual risks involved, not just the headlines that you're going to get hit with on, the television, on your phone. And we all know how the media does it.
Yeah.
But a big thing here is figure out how alternatives fit into your existing investments, right? Consider your time horizon. You mentioned lockups. It might not be for everyone, right? Different investments.
Correct. And
your risk tolerance here. If, the volatility that comes along with some of these, digital assets might not be for you, or it might be for you. It just depends.
Yeah.
Select options that are going to be, cost effective here and well managed, and most importantly, do they make sense for you? Management really matters in private markets quite a bit, picking the right assets there.
Yeah, because you've researched that over your career.
There's a big difference between average managers in the private markets and the good ones. A big difference. Yeah. So you take all that, you build a balanced plan, so you're not overexposed to one high risk area that you might not even know as you dig through these funds and figure that out. So if you're curious about whether these new 401k options make sense for you, and what you're trying to achieve, don't go it alone. Give us a call, reach out. We'll walk you through the rules. We'll help you figure out if and how these alternatives could fit into your retirement plan, because alternatives is a broad term. All of them are not going to apply to everyone. We want to be specific about what works for you and how it fits your plan. I just want to stress that these are not for everyone, but they are for some people.
Like tokenized assets.
That's probably you, right?
Yeah. I just want you to line me up. I want to invest in all of them.
Yep.
No, Travis, it's been great. I look forward to it next week.
Look forward to it as well.